My name is Marcus Hale, fisherman, 40 years old. The sea was quiet that morning, too quiet. Even the gulls were gone. I was 20 miles off the coast, no radio chatter, no other boats on the radar. Just me, my nets, and the silence. When you've worked the sea long enough, you feel when something isn't right. That morning, I felt it like the ocean was holding its breath. I dropped the net, the winch rattled, the ropes hissed through my gloves. Then nothing. No pull, no catch, just still water. I turned away for a second, and the net jerked hard. So hard it almost tore me overboard. The winch screamed, metal against metal. Whatever was caught wasn't fish. Too heavy, too still. I hit the switch, started reeling it in. The cable trembled, the water below turned dark. When the net dropped onto the deck, I thought I was looking at a corpse. Long hair, silver, glinting in the dawn light. A pale shape twisted in the mesh, half hidden by foam. I froze, my hands wouldn't move. Then the head turned, eyes opened, not gray, not human, bright blue, like deep ice under sunlight. They locked on me. That's when I saw the tail, not a trick of the net, not imagination, a real tail, long, scaled, torn in places. The fins shredded like fabric, and blood, thick, bluish blood, drifting through the water like smoke. She lay tangled in the net, on the deck, water pooling around her. She was cold and slick, lighter than she looked. Her chest rose in shallow gasps. Her mouth opened, and I saw sharp, triangular teeth, perfect and small, like the edges of a broken shell. For a second I thought I heard her speak. But her lips didn't move. The sound came from inside my head.
Don't be afraid.
I stumbled backward, looked around. Only the sea and the engine's low growl. Then again, I'm not a monster. Please help me. The voice wasn't human. It was clear and heavy, pressing behind my eyes like a current. I knelt beside her. Water pooled beneath her body, glittering under the deck lights. She looked at me, and I swear for a moment I felt her inside my thoughts. I grabbed an old storage tub, filled it with seawater, and slid her in. She fit perfectly, curling her tail around herself. Her skin shimmered under the flickering cabin light, faintly scaled, almost translucent. Her neck moved slightly, not breathing, not exactly, more like the water itself was keeping her alive. Her eyes followed me. "Thank you," she said, without sound, without breath. The words vibrated through my bones. I said, "Who are you?" A pause. Then, "Celesta." The name hit my skull like a drop of ice. "I am the younger sister of the Sea Queen," she said. "They are hunting me. My sisters. The guardians." I disobeyed. Her tail shifted, weak but graceful. She looked terrified, or maybe I wanted to believe she was. She reached out, her fingers trembling, and touched my wrist. Her skin was freezing at first, then it changed, warm, almost alive. The contact made my vision blur for a moment, like a wave passing through my head. "Please," she whispered, "hide me." I covered the tub with a tarp, turned off the deck light. The ship rocked slowly, as if listening. I sat beside her in the dark, the sound of water against steel echoing through the hull, and for the first time in my life, I felt like the ocean was watching me. The sea stayed calm for 3 days. No wind, no birds, just the slow thud of the engine and the slap of water on steel. I kept her in a storage tub I'd scrubbed till it smelled like nothing but salt. A hose ran from the intake, cycling fresh seawater through. When the sun was up, I shaded her with a tarp. At night, I warmed the air in the cabin and watched her breathe. She barely spoke, not with her mouth. At night, she sang, soft, almost not there. A sound too pure for lungs, too deep for air. Sometimes I thought the hull sang back. I fed her fish, small pieces cut thin with a dull knife. She ate neatly, triangular teeth clicking like porcelain. Her silver hair floated across the water like spilled light. I tried not to stare. I failed. "Are you in pain?" I asked once. No answer. Only a hum in my skull, light as a fingertip on glass. Then one word, "better." I slept on the bench beside her tub, wrapped in a blanket with a wrench in my hand. Old habit. Sometimes I woke because I thought I heard my name, Marcus, as if the sea itself had learned how to whisper. She watched me work, checking lines, oil, filters. Her gaze never left my hands. It felt strange being seen like that. I told her stories to fill the silence about the shore, the smell of diesel and beer, my father teaching me knots no one used anymore. She listened, always listened. The silence between us grew warm, almost human. When the ship rolled one afternoon, she reached for me. Cold fingers caught my wrist, then warmer, then hot. No fear, no flinch, like we both understood we couldn't survive alone. "Do you need more?" I asked. Her eyes drifted toward the hose, then to the sky through the hatch. "Enough," she said inside my mind. A word made of gratitude and something heavier. It settled in my chest like a weight I didn't want to lose. At night she stared through the porthole at a single star above the bow. She sang then, quieter than breathing. I felt it more than heard it, the notes rippling through metal and bone. I found myself answering in my head, "I'm here, you're safe." It felt stupid, until it didn't. On the third evening, while I mended a torn section of net, she spoke again. "You're kind," she said. "You fix things." I laughed. It sounded wrong in the cabin, too loud, too human. Her hand rose from the water, slow, careful. She touched the scar on my knuckle. "This too?" "Yeah," I said, "that too." She lowered her hand. The sea outside turned to slate. The engine hummed steady and low. She watched the sky darken. I watched her watch it, and for the first time in years, I felt needed. The ocean, for once, didn't argue. The weather changed without warning. By evening, the horizon was gone, swallowed by a wall of gray. The sea tightened under the hull, every wave heavier than the last. Even the engine sounded nervous. Celesta lifted her head from the water. Her eyes were wide, glowing faintly blue. "They found me," she said. Before I could ask who, the wind hit. The first wave slammed into the bow, hard enough to lift the stern. Rain followed, needles of salt and cold. The world went white. I killed the throttle, grabbed the wheel, fought to turn into the wind. Didn't matter. The sea wanted the boat, and the sea always gets what it wants. Lightning split the sky, a blue-white flash that burned my vision. I heard the metals scream. The vessel rolled once, twice, then the deck was gone from under me. Cold, so cold it didn't feel like water, just pressure, weight, silence. I tried to swim, but the current dragged me down. My lungs burned. I opened my mouth and swallowed salt. Every instinct screamed up, but I didn't know where up was anymore. Through the blur, I saw her, Celesta drifting toward me, hair streaming like ribbons of silver light. The water around her shimmered, warm against the cold. She reached me, hands on my face, her lips against mine. Heat flooded my chest. Pain shot through my neck, sharp as a blade. Then release. Air. Real air. I was breathing, but not through my mouth, through the sides of my throat. Gills. The panic vanished. I looked at her. Her eyes were calm now, almost sad. Around us, shapes moved in the lightning's pulse. Tall, graceful, and terrible. Eyes like pearls. Bodies dark and fluid. They circled us in silence. "The sisters," she said, "my kin."
"Hello, sister."
I wanted to fight, but my body wouldn't obey. Celesta turned to me, raised a hand. "Don't be afraid. You're safe now." And for the first time, I believed her. She drifted closer and took my hand. The water around our fingers warmed, turning the dark into a slow gold. "It's time," she said inside my head. "You need to know the truth." She pulled me down, past the last scraps of storm light, past the cold that felt like knives. Depth turned to glow. The seafloor opened like a city waking. I saw towers of black coral lit from within, spines of stone stitched with veins of light, arches grown, not built. Great ribs of something ancient turned into bridges. Schools of pale creatures hovered in place like lanterns, their bodies pulsing with a patient heartbeat. We stopped at the edge of a vast dome, a cathedral of water and bone. She faced me, still holding my hand. "I'm not a fugitive, Marcus. I'm not prey. I am the daughter of the Sea Queen. This was selection. The words struck like pressure in my ears. Her body changed as I watched. The tail lengthened, each scale catching the gold like a coin. The blue in her eyes cooled, sharpened. Not cruel, exactly, just distant, star-cold, Vega-cold. Around us, the others gathered. Tall, deliberate figures with pearl-bright eyes. They inclined their heads to her, not to me. "We are Solarian," she said, "born under Vega, buried by its death. We were born in oceans deeper than thought, on a world that burned from the sky down. When our star began to die, we crossed the dark between suns and found this sea. It was colder, wilder, but it welcomed us. We endured. Too well. Now our blood slows, our senses fade, our hunger dies. So every 7 years, one of us ascends as a runaway. She finds a heart that still beats fast, a body that still fears and fights. Through him we borrow life again. It keeps the ocean from falling asleep." I wanted to speak. Nothing came. Only the steady pull of the dome's light, the weightless ache of breathing water. She touched my chest, where the new breath lived in my throat. "You didn't save me, Marcus. You proved you could save it all. You passed." The sisters parted, silent as tides. Paths opened into the glowing city. I looked back once, up toward the black seam where the storm had been. Nothing there now. No sky. No boat. Only the low song of the structures and the warmth of her hand. "Come," she said. "Your place is below, until the sea remembers how to live." She drifted closer until the water between us turned warm. Her hand touched my chest, over the place where the new breath lived. My heart was racing too fast for the deep. Then I felt it. Another pulse, low, heavy, like the ocean itself was answering. Her voice filled my skull without sound. "You belong to the sea now. You are the beginning of a new line. From your will, defenders will rise. You are my king." The words weren't commands. They were law. She guided me downward. The pressure didn't hurt anymore. It was like being pulled into sleep, a slow descent through gold light and quiet. Below us, the sea opened. A dome of living coral glowed like a sun trapped underwater. Ribs of ancient metal curved around it, humming with breath. Inside, currents moved like veins. The light came from the walls themselves, old machines woven into bone, singing in a frequency too deep for air. The huntresses surrounded us, their forms tall and still. They began to sing, not a melody, but something older, a vibration that slid through my bones, through the metal of the hull that no longer existed, through everything I had been. I felt weight leave me, the ache in my lungs, the sting of salt, even gravity itself. My skin shimmered. Faint light crawled beneath it, following the rhythm of my pulse. I looked down and saw my hands glowing, not human anymore, not entirely alien. Something in between, something that belonged here. I didn't fight it. The fear had burned away miles ago. What replaced it wasn't peace, it was recognition. She turned to me, her eyes the same cold fire I had seen in the stars. Around us, the city sang, a choir of light and pressure and endless depth. "This is where it begins," she said. "The surface forgets, the sea remembers." I looked up once more. No sky, no horizon, only the endless breathing dark. And for the first time, it felt like home. They say the storms in those waters have gone quiet. Fishermen pass through without fear now, but sometimes, on windless nights, a soft golden glow moves beneath the surface. Slow, steady, like the breath of a sleeping titan. She told me she was running from the sea, but the sea was always running through her, and now it runs through me.